What? Hey, you! What are you doing here?
Lord Capon sent me to get some wine for him.
Lord Capon, eh? A likely story.
You clearly don't know Lord Capon. Do you think he's going to leave in the middle of his merriment to go and get his own wine?
Ha! No, that doesn't sound like the young lord. I suppose he sent you for the Sylvan Red.
The very one.
Well, you'll leave some for Sir Hanush at least, won't you?
I'll try. Yeah. Yeah. So, about that wine you sent me for.
Well, have you got it?
Of course.
You really broke into the cellar at the Rat House?
I certainly did. I hope that wine's really worth the trouble I had.
I don't believe it. You really broke into the cellar. You're insane.
What? That was a trick? For fuck's sake, if they caught me, I'd have ended up in the stocks. If I was lucky.
Nonsense. I wouldn't have let them.
Oh, thank you for your concern. Well, let's see if this wine is as good as you say.
What are you waiting for? The parish priest's blessing? Come on then. Get it down you. Ah, now that's what I call a real wine. Sylvan Red. It's not like that donkey's piss they serve in this otherwise delightful establishment. You can tell from the first sip, can't you, Henry?
Yeah, as you say, sir. Sylvan Red. The taste is unmistakable.
Leave off, Sir Hans. I'm not like the other girls.
I know, Clara. You are different. you deserve more. You deserve flowers.
What?
What kind of flowers do you like?
Well, I like all kinds. I like dandelions, sage, knotweed, and poppies. I really like poppies.
Henry, did you hear that?
What?
The lady requests dandelions, sage, cabbages. Right.
No, not weed and puppies.
What? You want me to go flower picking now?
I know. I'm putting you to work again. But if you do it, I'll give you 70 Flowengroschen. So,
That much? All right, I'll go. Ugh. Oh, no. What was it she said? Sage something else, and roses? Yeah, what would a bouquet be without roses?
Yeah.
There's some in the upper castle garden. Yeah.
what the hell are you doing here? I'd like some privacy if you don't mind.
Come for my wench.
Well, as you can see, I'm not your wench or anyone else's, so fuck off.
What are you doing with my Clara, you cunt?
Archie, stop that. He's just bathing here.
Bathing here, is he? When all the wenches but you are whores.
Archie!
And are you whoring now too?
That's enough, Archibald!
Archibald?
You shut your mouth, I'm not done with you!
No, I swear the gentleman hasn't touched me.
Actually, that's quite true. Well, mostly.
No, nothing happened. Nothing.
We'll talk about this later. First I'm dealing with this bastard!
I'd like to see you try arse and balls.
Ugh.
Arse and balls!
For the love of God, stop it, both of you!
Fucking hell. Hey. What do you think you're doing?
Jesus Christ.
Teach you
That's enough!
some
You'll pay for that! Yeah!
No!
Stop
Stop
bitching.
it!
Cunt! Here!
God.
What the hell got into you? Trying to drown a nobleman?
Oh, shit. Fuck. Sir, I didn't know.
Get out of my sight. Go on before I remember I can have you hung.
I apologise, your lordship. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Archie, wait!
Phew. I nearly got drowned by arson balls.
That's the least relaxing bath I've ever had.
Fuck, I feel like I've swallowed the Baltic.
Drinking will be the death of you.
Damn right. Is there any wine left?
Are you out of your fucking mind? You want to carry on?
Of course. Well, don't tell me you don't fancy a drink after all that.
What will you do with them, Sir Hans?
What, with arson balls? I don't know. What do you think I should do with him?
He was drunk and insane with jealousy. I'm sure he'll be sorry when he sobers up.
But he tried to drown a nobleman. I can't just let him off.
He didn't know who you were. Anyway, if you let him off, you'll show that you're the better man.
I suppose you're right. Fuck him. But we had some pretty good sport, eh? God be with you.
Whatever you...
I hope I can be of some
Master Bailiff?
I should say so. The bishop's vicar came to Ujits, and not even Sir Hanush knows what he's after in these parts. Something must be up, but I couldn't tell you more than that.
You look like you've got a lot on your plate, Master Bailiff. Is work keeping you busy?
Busy? I've had so many visitors, I wouldn't wonder if the door fell off its hinges.
What's going on?
I've been given the task of putting some of the Scarlet's refugees to work. It's not that there's a shortage of jobs, the problem's sharing them out fairly.
I understand. Everyone has mouths to feed.
The worst part is they won't tell you who really needs a job the most, but you might be able to help, Henry.
How?
They're like to be more honest with you, so you can find out who's in the most need. And you can decide for yourself who'll do what. Will you help?
If you need help, I'll do whatever I can.
You're a godsend. I'm sure it won't take too long. You know how the refugees are getting on, don't you? But ask around if you need to find out more.
What kind of work are we talking about?
Well, old Hagen is looking for a cook, and we need 5 carriers.
A cook and 5 water carriers. That sounds simple enough. Is there a problem?
A little. We need 3 water carriers, but the other 2 will have to carry, begging your pardon, shit. Or as the Pope would say, excrement.
Is there anyone who can tell me more about it?
Yes, the merchant Conrad Hagen is the one looking for a cook, so you can talk to him. And young Alex will know which of the Scarlet's folk are best suited to the job.
How come that's such a cause for concern?
For one thing, they're afraid of me, and I can't get a straight answer out of any of them. So how the hell am I supposed to make the right choice?
Oh, they're desperate. You can't blame them.
I don't, but I might end up picking some good-for-nothing who'll just booze his wages away.
Can you tell me anything more about the cook?
You'll have to ask Hagen yourself. I couldn't get a straightforward answer out of him. Maybe he's changed his mind.
What do I need to know about the water carriers?
We need 3. Right now, some of the burgers' hands are doing the job.
And they need to go all the way down to the river for water.
Of course, where else would they get it? Gallows Hill? It's not an easy job, but someone has to do it.
What can you tell me about the other carriers?
It's dirty, but it's a job that needs to be done. There'll be more than enough work for them. Some places are overflowing.
Sounds disgusting. Why would anyone want the job?
If all else fails, I'll pay 2 groschen for every 1 I pay the water carriers. That might convince someone.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then.
Farewell.
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
But what of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is hauling shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skalitz, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
Who should I talk to? Where will I find them?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
Thanks. I'll go.
God save you.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young? Nimble?
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard that you need workers to carry, to empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home.
I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, of course. It goes without saying. Take care now.
shine upon them. Rest in peace.
My humble greetings.
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
Oh, I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumours. I'm still his housekeeper.
Father Francis no longer needs a housekeeper.
What? Don't tell me he's found a new one.
Well, I probably shouldn't tell you. I'm afraid that's just how it is.
But that's not like him. Somebody must have been putting ideas into his head. I'll have to go back and talk to him.
But he's not at St. James's.
No? Then where is he? And why does he have a new housekeeper there?
They're sending him away, somewhere to South Bohemia. I was told they've arranged all the help he needs there already.
But what will I do?
We didn't want to drag you away somewhere else, since you've been here your whole life.
That's true, but what will he do without me? Who will take care of him?
I'm sure he'll be well taken care of. But what about you? You could have a good life as Hagen's housekeeper.
Very well. I'll go and work for him then. Take care.
I've got that game meat.
Excellent. Thanks, Henry. We'll get lots of supplies for this. I think we'd better quit while we're ahead. The Master Huntsman has got wind that something's up and the burghers are getting nervous. But you helped us a lot, Henry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come and see me if you ever need anything else.
I will. God be with you.
All I ask of you is a crust of bread.
You're here about the water carrying?
Aye. I can haul water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Skalitz and ended up here.
Quite the fat totem, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all. But they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman? That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal. But they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No. It's from when I was in the mines. Digging with a pick.
Well, I could put in a good word for you, but you'll have to scratch my back too.
Fair enough. Show me where it itches.
Oh, no, you dolt. It's just a saying. Like I do something for you, and you do something for me.
Ah, right. I see. Well, as it happens, I've got something great for you. Treasure you wouldn't dream of.
Treasure, you say? Right, you got my attention.
I see you're a smart man. A man who knows a thing or two about the world. I've got... Wait for it. I've got a piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Never heard of her. Who's she?
She was a great queen in ancient times. She gave Solomon a sword with magical powers.
Magical, eh? You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
No, it's true. It's in the Bible. And this sword, once it's put back together, nothing can stop it. It can cut through bones, teeth, even steel and stone.
I see. But you've only got one piece. What's that good for?
I couldn't get it all. The fellow I bought it off didn't have the rest. He sold off bits and pieces. They've got powers of healing, you see? And put strength in your... you know, manhood. What do you say? Deal?
We'll shake on it. I'll get you the job, and you'll give me the piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Agreed.
See you later.
I'm glad to see.
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see, alright?
Fine.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
Aye. I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
And what would you give me if I put in...
I've got nothing.
Oh, come now. You say you want the job, so prove it to me.
Mother told me I should go and help.
That's enough for now.
God be with you.
Good afternoon.
What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me, though. So I came here myself.
Well, if you know how to cook...
All I've ever cooked is gruel and soup. Nothing fit for nobles. A roof would be grand, though. Not so much for me, but for my husband. Is there any way you could arrange it?
No. Not unless I lied about your cooking skills. But he'd find out soon enough, and then we'd both be in trouble. All right. I'll think about it and talk to the bailiff.
And you'll tell him to take me, right? Take care.
God save you.
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Thunder the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So did I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back at the winch. turning it so fast I'd make everyone's head spin. But now I want to carry water at least, since there's some money in it.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
I understand. I shouldn't have even asked.
Yeah.
And how are you holding up?
Not very well, I'll tell you that. I help out with something every once in a while and get some money for it. But it's not enough. Especially when the dice don't fall in my favor.
Sure. And have you tried looking for other work?
What for? They'll get the mines running again, and I'll have a real man's job.
And what about soldiering? That's real man's work, isn't it?
It is, and I'd be good at it. When I land a punch, you'd think you were kicked by a horse, which I once showed to a soldier I fell out with over a game of dice. Only, I'm too smart for soldiering.
No doubt. And how are you? It's a shame there isn't any real...
Ain't that the trick?
I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it at the mines. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm. Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal then.
Deal. I know everything I need. Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me.
I'll bear that in mind.
Goodbye.
God be with you.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I have no idea what their lordships plan to do about it.
All right. I just thought you might have heard something.
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners, and at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though. It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day for months on end?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it would be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. What about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
No, it won't come to that. Sir Radzig will surely take care of things when he returns home. He won't forget the sacrifice you make.
I'm glad to hear that. If that's how it is, I'll even carry shit.
How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
But can you handle carrying water? It's no easy matter.
Sure I can. Like I said, my arm's fine.
The bailiff said he couldn't get a word out of you.
Well, he's not the most popular man around here, after everything that's happened. You can't blame us.
Well, maybe, but if you lot had just talked to him, I wouldn't have to run around dealing with this, and you'd all have a few groschen by now.
You might be right. but there's no point crying over spilt milk.
What would you give if I put in a good word for you?
Good word?
Sure. If I put in a good word for somebody to the bailiff, then that someone has a better chance.
But I haven't got a pot to piss in. I lost everything, and I'm in debt too. But I might know about an opportunity.
Oh? What kind of opportunity?
I heard about it at the mine, before Skalitz was raised.
So, what did you hear?
They found something they wanted kept a secret. There weren't any rumours about a silver seam, but what else could it be?
The punishment for stealing the king's silver is hanging or burning at the stake.
I know, but you can't be burned for stealing silver nobody knows about.
That's enough for now.
Goodbye.
What do you need?
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of,
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Well, that's not bad, but for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Rattay?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
But the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can't see how that would put you off him. That's enough for now.
See you later.
My respects to you.
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Tonda. They call him the Winch.
The Winch. Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Peter, better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Vincent, Moimir's son.
Vincent? Never heard of him. What do you think he should do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vasil, goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
To carry water.
So we have 1 person to carry water. Who's next?
Antonia.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job, have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
Carrying shit.
Good. 1 person for this job. Next?
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hagen?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime. See you later.
Yeah.
You'll find it nowhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Greetings, Henry.
Do you still feel like doing something together?
It's quite late to be going out somewhere just now. Will you come tomorrow?
God bless you. What troubles you? Henry, just the man I want to see. I need help with something.
What's the problem, sir?
The Archbishop's vicar has come to Uzhitz. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the hunt for heretics, which frankly never meant any good, especially for me.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really up on religious ranks, sir. What does a vicar do, exactly?
You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is short for vicarious, meaning in place of. He has full power to act on his superior's behalf.
I see.
In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop, Archbishop Zbigniew Hare of Hassenburg.
What should I do about him, then?
Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news. Or it's equally possible he's here to size up my estate, which would be even worse.
I understand. And then what?
The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague.
And how can I, encourage him to do that? I can't just kick him out, can I?
No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here, he'll be off in no time. So tell him I've sent you to assist him.
I understand. And my task is to assist him in finding nothing.
Indeed.
Are you at odds with the Archbishop in some way, sir?
No, I've never even seen him. But that's no guarantee he doesn't have his eye on my estate.
But how could he get his hands on it?
He's an archbishop. They have long fingers, my boy. And now, without the king around, it's the perfect time to amass a nice little hoard. Believe me, I know. They say in Prague that he's a complete dolt, but I rather doubt that.
Why?
All the Hare clan are as shrewd as they come. I know that better than most.
Uh-huh. And what if there really are heretics?
My boy, have you ever seen a heretic?
No.
There, you see. I haven't either. Most of the time the prelates just invent them to scare folk with. So don't put much faith in their existence.
But
what if there really are some? Then deal with them. But make sure that interfering bastard gets out of here.
very well. I'll get going straight away.
Good luck, lad. And be careful. Clergymen are wily weasels. So take care.
I'll be careful. Don't worry, Sir Hanish.
Take care now.
What do you want here, lad?
God save, Monsignor. My name's Henry, and I've been sent by Sir Hanish of Lipa.
Sir Hanish, And why is he sending you?
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right time. I need someone who'll go unnoticed among the locals. I'm sure Sir Hanish told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for heretics?
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church, the rash of heretics. Waldensians, dangerous heretics, one and all.
How can I help you, then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the point, Henry. I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know in theory. The crux of the matter is this. We caught a heretic in Gutenberg who told us of the heretics in Uschitz. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describing their meeting place, he was already raving and hardly coherent.
I see. So do you know where they meet up, or don't you?
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least. I have a record somewhere here. Can you read, boy?
Naturally, Father. Otherwise, Sir Hanish wouldn't have sent me.
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting a suitable education. Some of their own offspring can hardly write their own names. Here's the record of the interrogation. From what I can make out, his description of the route starts at the local tavern. Once you've found something out, come back and see me.
I'll do my best, Father.
Well, I'm not from Uschitz exactly, so I don't know how well they'll accept me.
That's good, because the last thing I need is one of these local good-for-nothings. I can't trust a single one of them. And they don't trust me either. But you're an ordinary lad with a likable face, if a bit simple-looking. You'll have a much better chance of learning their secrets.
You flatter me, Monsignor. Very well, then. Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that. But I'll know more after I finish the interrogations.
How did you conclude there are heretics here?
We caught one in Gutenberg. He confessed to everything.
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
I'm guessing he didn't speak willingly?
Of course not.
Little wonder his strength deserted him in the executioner's clutches. It's a pity. He might have known more.
My lad, guard your tongue. It's unwise to question the ways of Mother Church. Heretics are a canker on the body of the Church. Do you know what's to be done with such an ulcer? You take the hot iron to it and burn it out. It may hurt. It hurt me too, to have to cause the man to suffer. But it had to be done for the well-being of the Church.
Who are these Waldensians? I've never heard of them.
Really? then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to read out the bishop's missive to the congregation. Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's the latter. But to answer your question, it's a heretical sect.
I gathered that much, but what form does the heresy take?
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation. Besides which, it's not something you need concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, they are heretics.
Very well, Monsignor. I'll get working on it, sir.
God be with you, my son.
Father, didn't I see you outside practicing swordplay? I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form. Good luck, then.
God save. Goodbye.
God save you. Good.
God be with you.
Mushrooms!
Yeah.
Seems I found it. A cross, nicely carved. Someone in the village might recognize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Father, I wonder if you could tell me whose cross this is.
I do know, but I'm not sure I can tell you.
I don't understand. Why not?
People said they saw you talking with a vicar. They're afraid that Sir Hanu sent you here to help him.
That's not how it is.
And how is it?
Sir Hannah sent me to find out what he wants, and to get him out of here if possible.
Well, then we share the same interest. But I'd still prefer it to end with nobody burned at the stake.
Well, you and me both.
That's good to hear. Where did you find the cross?
Let's do a deal. I'll tell you where I found it, and you tell me whose it is.
Very well. Tell me.
I found it in the woods. It looked like people met there. There were other things, candles, a cloth, and so on.
Damn it. That really does seem like...
That the vicar is right to be looking here. It surprised me, too. So whose is it?
The cross is definitely the Bowers, I remember that. But that just can't be. I can't believe it. If they really are heretics, though...
What do you want to do?
I don't know. But I'll do anything in my power to prevent a heretic witch hunt taking hold here.
I see. It wouldn't make Sir Hanush too happy either.
My thoughts exactly. But the question still remains what to do about it. The vicar won't give up till he's found what he wants. You know what, boy? Before we do anything else, we ought to make sure whether there really are heretics here.
What do you propose?
That's simple. Listen to how they say their prayers.
But how can I listen to their private prayers? I don't suppose they'll be praying that way in the church.
Certainly not. In the church, they'd pray the usual way. But at home, it's a different matter entirely. I know they meet at the farm in the evening with all the domestics. They'll surely be praying then.
All right, but how can I listen in?
I don't know. Crouch beneath the window? Climb up in the loft? That way you'll be sure to hear everything said in the main room.
What do you know about the Bowers?
When I think about it now, they're a little peculiar.
What do you mean?
Well, they do rather keep themselves to themselves. They attend Mass, true enough. They leave the moment it's over. And I've never seen them at a dance or a celebration of any kind. But on the other hand, they give more alms to the needy in the village than anyone. I can't deny them that.
Where did those Bower folk come from?
I don't really know. I've never spoken to them much, but they've not been here long, only 2 or 3 years.
And the cross? Did you consecrate that for the Bowers themselves?
No. It belonged to the family who lived on the farm before them. That was quite a sad story.
Right, I'll get on with it.
Take care.
Yeah.
What's that?
Are you looking for someone?
Ah, I could try listening from here.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are bound to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. They took old Wenzel to the presbytery today. His farm is nearby. It's only a matter of time before...
Before they come for me. I know.
And what are we going to do about it? That vicar is baying for blood, the beast. He will devour you alive.
I do not intend to do anything about it. I shall not waver from my faith, nor turn my back on it.
My dear, what on earth are you saying?
If they come for me, I will go quietly. And I will not lie.
Are you serious? Don't you know what they'll do to you?
I can well imagine. But I am resolved.
The Lord have mercy.
Do not fear. I surrender to God's will. And I do not condemn you if you decide to leave.
I'll stay by your side, although I'd rather that you decided otherwise.
I know. And you have no fear, my brothers in Christ. Stay true to God's plan, as I shall. Go and spread the true faith amongst all good folk.
I'm sorry, I wish there was another way.
You should eat your supper and depart right away. Who knows? You may come for us at dawn.
Yeah.
So I went to check on the Bower farm, and I don't have good news.
Do tell.
They most certainly are heretics, at least as far as I can tell.
Are you sure? What did you hear?
Well, for a start, the evening prayers were led by a woman.
That is certainly unusual, but nothing conclusive in itself.
But that's not all. They're afraid the vicar will be coming after them.
Who wouldn't fear that? That swine finds fault with everyone.
Well, it's not like you'd have to try too hard. Mrs. Bauer plans to confess everything.
Confess what, exactly?
Most likely her faith. The people of the farm were trying to discourage that, but her mind's made up.
Oh, good Lord, that's all I need. What am I to do?
I don't know, but we have to help them.
You're quite right. You have to talk them out of it, Hal. You must convince them to run.
Convince them? That's easy for you to say. You haven't heard her talking.
I'm sure you'll find a way. You have to try at least. For their own good and for yours, Hal.
You're right. Someone has to help them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Now hurry. You never know when the vicar might come for them. Good luck, then.
Yeah.
Mother of God, you look like you've been assaulted.
Mistress Bauer,
What is it you need?
I've come to ask something of you.
Have you? And just who are you, young man?
That doesn't matter. The important thing is that I want to help you and your husband.
I admit that I'm a little confused. You've come to ask me something, but at the same time you want to help me. What's going on?
I want to ask you not to confess to the vicar. Just take your husband and get out of here while there's still time.
I have no idea why you're so taken with my fate, or how you found out about my intentions, but I'll tell you one thing. Changing my mind is out of the question. I won't betray my faith, nor my brothers in Christ.
Believe me, I know how cowardly it feels to flee. What it's like to abandon your nearest and dearest when they need you most.
Then you must understand why I can't do the same.
I do. But I also know that if I died that day, I would have achieved nothing by it. Whereas this way, I live on.
And what are you living for? Revenge?
Maybe. What of it? The important thing is that I'm alive, and I still have a life to do with as I please, and so could you. You can convert more people to your creed, instead of being scoffed at if they drag you to the pyre.
You may be right, but I can't lie. It's against all my teaching.
You won't have to lie if you're never asked any questions. Just leave. You can preach elsewhere. I'm sure you have lots of friends who'd love to take you in.
But I don't want to run.
No one wants to run away, but sometimes we have no choice. If you run, your faith will live on. That must mean something.
You're right. I shouldn't give in so easily. I've just grown so weary of the endless persecution.
You should pack up and run away as soon as you can. The vicar might get here any minute.
Thank you.
Don't delay.
Take care.
God save you.
I found them, Monsignor.
Pardon me?
I found the heretics.
Really? And who are they?
The Bauer family and their entire household.
Well, I expect you to give me some evidence. In the last few days, I've been hearing how practically everyone here is a heretic.
I found that place the captive heretic talked about, and I found a family cross there. It took a bit of asking around, but I learned it belongs to the Bauers. Their farm isn't far from here, to the north. And then all I had to do was go there and do a little spying.
What of it? What did you hear?
Nothing at all. The farm was deserted, not a living soul anywhere.
Ha! They fled. So they are heretics.
What will you do, Monsignor?
It's not the first time the devil's spawn has fled from me. I'll do the same as always. Track them down and capture them. Don't worry, they won't get far. Thank you for your help. You may leave. God be with you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
It's all sorted out, sir. You've no need to worry about the vicar anymore.
Excellent. Some good news at last. I've heard some pretty wild rumors from Uzhitz. So what happened there exactly?
Maybe this will surprise you, sir, but there really were heretics in Uzhitz.
Are you telling me the vicar didn't come to stick his nose in my possessions?
I don't know about that, but he definitely suspected there were heretics hereabouts, and he was right.
Christ, a man doesn't expect that sort of thing in his own fiefdom. Did you catch them?
No, they ran away. The vicar's investigation wasn't exactly low-key. Anyway, they've definitely fled beyond your estate.
Well, that's at least something. And the vicar?
He's probably hot on their heels.
Well, I hope he doesn't come back. Anyway, Henry, thanks for dealing with that vicar. You pulled a thorn from my side. Here's a little token of my gratitude.
Thank you, sir.
God be with you.
Henry, I'm so glad to see you.
How did things work out with the job I arranged?
They both got jobs thanks to you. I'm beholden to you. If you ever need anything, just say the word.
Do you still feel like doing something together?
Shall we play Blind Man's Buff?
That's really what you want to do?
I know it's a game for children, but I always liked it, and I won't feel stupid playing it with you.
All right, why not?
Good. Then follow me. Nobody will see us here in this barn.
Are you shy?
It's a game for little children. Of course I'm embarrassed.
Well, adults play it too, you know.
But only when they're drunk. I'll cover my eyes.
Well, they do say love is blind.
Cheeky boy. But this is a game you won't be winning. I've got ears sharper than a bat's.
And I'm as stealthy as a cat. You'll never find me.
We'll see. But if you leave the barn, you lose. Come here. Come on, spin me around. What are you waiting for?
Blind I may be, deaf I'm not. Make a sound, and you'll get got. How does it go after that?
It doesn't matter. Go and hide. Just you wait. I'll find you. Where are you? What was that? Was that you? Ha! Got you. I bet. You're a sneaky one. How come I didn't hear you? Oh no! I've left clothes out to dry. We have to bring them in before they get soaked. Oh no, it's completely soaked.
You'll have to put it by the stove to dry.
No, that would just make it reek of smoke. Help me bring it to the hay. It's sopping wet.
Not afraid of thunderstorms, are you?
Not anymore.
Shouldn't we spread the linen out?
Henry, hush now.
About that evening.
Ah, yes. I never thanked you properly for helping me with the laundry. That storm would have carried it off to God knows where.
Oh, I think you thanked me enough. But next time we should take shelter somewhere else. That hayseed gets into places it shouldn't and itches like mad.
Henry, you donkey. You really know how to sweet-talk a girl, don't you? And anyway, what do you mean by next time? Just what exactly do you have in mind for the two of us?
How do you see things?
Me? Well, when you're not behaving like a total nincompoop. I kind of like being with you.
I behave like a nincompoop.
Yes, like now answering a question with another question. How do you see it with us, Henry? If I really must say it, I like you very much. And you saved my life in Skalitz.
And you saved mine. So we're even. Well, we'll be together. Like a couple. And when the time comes, you'll take me as your husband, right?
You're full of yourself, aren't you? But that's not how things are done.
Well, obviously, under normal circumstances, I'd ask your pa for your hand, but...
Papa? Yes. He'd set the dogs on you. Now you'd have to get Uncle Peshek's blessing.
I reckon I'd have no better luck with him. Unless he saw a way to profit from it.
And I'd have a sack of flour for my dowry. But seriously, Henry, what kind of husband would you make? You can't sit still in one place for an hour at a time.
Well, I've got a lot of duties, but I'm very fond of you, you know. And maybe one day...
I know, you silly sod. We can't get married yet. But we can still see each other and be fond of each other.
What's going on? The folk in town are talking about you.
They shat on me. That's what.
What? Who did?
All of them.
Wait. Tell me again from the start.
All right, if you want. They caught Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and a fellow named Harold that everyone calls Frost. They're scum who've been hunted for months. Now they've finally been caught, there's a big execution being prepared. Folk will come from miles around to watch.
Well, that's a good thing for you, isn't it?
It would be, if I was fucking doing it.
Isn't it the custom for you to do all the executions in Rattay?
It is. Not just the custom, but by bloody right. You're not being replaced, they said. This is just a loan of Gallows Hill.
They really did fuck you over.
My words exactly.
So who's doing the job?
They invited Executioner Heinz all the way from Kuttenberg. They say it's going to be a big show. Have I ever fucked up an execution? I always behead them in one blow. And when his lordship wants to drag out a hanging, I leave them kicking for minutes. If he wants it quick, they're stiff as soon as I drop them. And they push me aside like that, after all these years of service.
What can we do about it?
Nothing. His lordship's decided, and that's that.
Nothing? You think they should be allowed to get away with this?
Well, no, but...
You have the right to executions in Rattay, don't you?
I most certainly do.
Then you're in the right. Don't tell me you can't think what to do about it.
The trouble is, they already paid the executioner and he's come here along with his assistants. We can't stop the executions, unless Heinz drops dead on the spot.
Maybe that could be arranged?
How? I'm an honorable man. What the hell are you suggesting?
It's just a joke. I didn't mean it.
A bloody stupid joke. The best thing would be if he fucked up the executions. The famous Kuttenberg executioner can't handle the job. The mob would laugh him out of town and beg me to take over. They'd never invite him here again.
Great, so how do we go about it?
The problem is, I don't know what the sentences will be. They'll only announce them just before the executions, and then it'll be too late to do anything.
Would the bailiff know more?
Maybe, but most likely only Heinz will know the sentence. I've got an idea, though. Will you help me?
Of course.
Great. Thank you, Henry.
So where should I start?
Find out from the bailiff what their crimes are, and then have a look in the Black Chronicle at the Rat House.
It goes back before my time. You're bound to find records of some similar offenders in it. You need to find people who committed the same crimes and came from the same sort of background, noble or lowborn. That way you can find out what the appropriate punishments are.
Then come back to me, and we'll work out what to do.
I'll get moving.
And Henry?
Hmm?
They want to do the executions on my gibbet at Gallows Hill. I can hold them up for a while, but probably no more than a week.
I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
I hear there's going to be a big execution here.
There certainly is. It'll be a glorious event for our town. They'll be talking about it for years.
Who's for the chop?
The biggest outlaws and reprobates for miles around. Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and Frost Herald.
What did they do?
What didn't they do, more like? They caused trouble all over the country.
Who's this Peter of Dauba?
A noble who lost his fortune. He's been holding up merchants for months.
That's all?
At first, but then his gang started getting bloodthirsty. They wiped out a whole squad that was hunting them. He won't walk away from this.
What can you tell me about Herald?
They call him Frost because he's always cool as ice, until he starts. I've seen plenty of killers and thugs in my day, but that one's got the devil in him.
Why?
They say the only thing that'll put a smile on his face is the sound of screaming and weeping. That beast kills for pleasure. When they caught him, he had a candle made from the arm of an infant. For luck, he said.
Christ. What about Weiss?
No one actually knows where he came from, but they say the murdering started with him. He never leaves witnesses. He'd rather wipe out a whole village than take a chance.
Thanks, bailiff. That's all I need to know.
God be with you.
Could I take a look at the Black Chronicle?
Indeed you cannot.
It would only take a moment, and
Do you have any idea how much it's worth?
If I let one of you near it, next thing every yokel in the manor will be clamouring to get in here.
Do I look like some kind of yokel?
Well, maybe it would be all right for you to take a look. Take care.
I need your advice.
Did you find out what they did? And did you read the Black Chronicle?
Yes.
So tell me what you found out, and I'll see what I can come up with. Just bear in mind, I can help you work it out, but you'll only find exactly what you need in the Rattay Black Chronicle. Every executioner has his own way of doing things, and this bastard might have different methods in mind.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman. His neck is going on the block.
That makes sense. His crimes are great, but he's still a nobleman, so he gets an honorable death.
George Weiss is a bloodthirsty bastard who left a trail of corpses behind him. He hasn't earned an honorable death. He's for a long drop on a short rope.
A murderer deserves nothing better. That makes sense.
Frost Herald is the worst of them all, sent by Satan himself. The things he's done would make a demon blanch. The executioner will take his time with that one. He'll be begging to die. If I read correctly, it'll start with ripping the flesh.
Aye, could be. He deserves nothing better.
So, have we got everything we need?
We've covered all the possibilities. There's nothing more we can think up.
So, what's the plan then?
An executioner's greatest boast is to behead with one blow. That's why an executioner's sword needs to be a splendid piece of craftsmanship and sharp as a razor.
I follow you, but how can I get to the sword?
It won't be easy. The executioner's sword is one of his most valuable instruments.
So I'll have to steal it, dull the blade, and put it back before anyone notices?
Yes, that's probably the only way.
That'll be interesting. And how can I dull the sword? Should I hack at a stone wall?
I thought you were a blacksmith, son. It's enough to caulk up the honing. That will make much less noise.
Couldn't it just be switched for a different one?
He'd notice straight away. It's different than a regular sword, heavier with a blunt point. The balance is different, too.
I could take yours and...
He'd recognize that, too. An executioner knows his sword like the back of his hand.
He'd notice as soon as he picked it up.
That'll do me.
With ripping of the flesh, the bastard has to suffer, but survive as long as possible.
So, if Herald drops dead right at the start...
The executioner will look like a fool.
But how can I make sure it happens?
I don't know. It depends on the skill of the executioner. An experienced one starts in places where there's no threat of heavy bleeding, the sides, the chest.
And the Kuttenberg executioner is definitely experienced.
No doubt. They use a kind of special tongs, and in between the ripping, the convict's wounds are treated so he can take more.
Maybe the tongs could be spiked with something nasty.
And you'd know what to use?
I know a little, and I might be able to get something.
That would work. Good idea, Hal.
What if I get the one who's supposed to dress the wounds drunk?
Don't do that. It could be someone from Ratai, and even if it isn't, the blame wouldn't fall on the executioner.
That'll do me. What about the hanging?
If the rope breaks when it's done, it's an unbelievable disgrace for the executioner. Folk see it as the will of God, and sometimes he even has to let the condemned man go.
I could shoot the rope through from a distance with an arrow.
Don't be daft. No, you couldn't.
But I'm...
Where did you get such a stupid idea? From some wench? Even if you somehow hit it, that rope's much too strong.
Well...
And even if you did manage to shoot it through, do you really think nobody would notice?
Maybe it's not the best plan I've ever come up with.
I certainly hope not.
What about switching it?
That could work. I've got an old rope here I don't use anymore. It looks fine, but it's run. It'll be perfect.
Great, I'll use that. Supposing I just cut it?
I doubt it would work. The executioner will check it before the hanging when he's preparing the gallows. He'd probably notice.
That'll do me. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah!
That should do it. It'll never hold the weight of a grown man. If he tries to torture anyone with this, the lucky fellow will die quickly.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
couldn't chop the head off a chicken with this.
To heal, mutt.
Yeah.